What's going on, guys? Welcome to a new Zero to Hero video. I hope all of you are enjoying Path of Exile 2 Early Access. We will be playing Poisonous Concoction Pathfinder for this series, and maybe I will even go for 500 rarity on this build. But first, we will be playing the non-rarity version. Since there are a lot of new players coming to Path of Exile 2, I will be trying to show a lot of information to have a smooth leveling experience. We will not level the character with Poisonous Concoction, instead we will be using Lighting Arrow combined with Lightning Rod. And for boss fights we will be using Orb of Storms also at level 6. For the passive points I will try to show the leveling tree every few levels so you can follow along if you decide to play this build also. The tree will also be linked in the description. Damn, sometimes lucky, already got 10% movement speed boots. With our first support gem we will buy Pierce. And with the second support gem we will get Scattershot for our Lightning Rod. This will help a lot for clearing. For now the clear looks pretty decent. We will not spec anything in defenses and will go for damage for most of the campaign. Hopefully we can find some exalts to upgrade some gear, but I will keep you updated on that. This is our passive tree so far. We also picked up 2 intelligence nodes to use Orb of Storms. You can see that we currently have a decent amount of damage to kill the Act bosses. We also pick up Herald of Thunder after we kill the King of the Mist boss. The current links on Lightning Arrow are Pierce with Martial Tempo, and for Lightning Rod we link it with Scattershot and Magnified Effect. Time to blast true packs of monsters and clear some acts. There we go, level 29 so far, and everything was pretty smooth. Time for some upgrades. The first item we are going to upgrade is the quiver with a lot of flat damage. We have a few exalts to work with. Found this quiver for 1 exalt. Also found a really nice bow for 3 exalts. Look for a dual string bow so we get extra arrow. I will leave trade links in the video description. Almost doubled our damage, worth it. We are also going to change our skill to Gas Arrow linked with Scattershot, Martial Tempo, and if you get your first Lesser Duelist Orb you take Fire Infusion. And if you can afford to buy Radiant Grief Lace Hood, then your clear speed will be really fast and smooth since the enemies that are ignited will be exploded for a lot of damage. If you can't afford to buy the unique helmet you can ignite enemies with Flame Wall. You want to link Flame Wall to Arcane Tempo, Spell Cascade, and Persistence. First lab done. Hopefully GGG will change the way on how to gain points. I really don't like the current system. And there we go, the campaign is completed and we had no problems at all going through it. Keep in mind the bow and the quiver we bought at level 29 carried all the way through the acts without upgrading them, so this exploding gas arrow is really strong. The rest of the gear is just some random crap we picked up from the floor. We even have 9 passive points that we didn't spend yet. After like 2 hours of mapping with Gas Arrow we managed to find 22 exalts and 1 divine, so I think it's time to finally swap to Poisonous Concoction. But first let's respec our passive tree. Something like this for now. The respec cost me around 80k gold. We also did our 3rd lab and got a carry for the 4th lab. First item we buy is Widowhail Crude Bow to scale our quiver. We just get a cheap one for now, we can upgrade it when we have more currency. We also need a quiver. For now I'm just looking for some dexterity and +2 to level of all projectile skills. Found this one for 3 exalts. Let's see if we can slam something useful on it. Never lucky, I hoped for critical hit chance for attacks. We buy the unique snakebite gloves. This will be our best in slot all the way to the end. We can still buy a better rolled one later, but they are expensive. New cheap body armor with some life and a lot of resistance. New helm, also with life and resistance. We are trying to cap our resistance at 75%. Alright, now that we have some basic gear and we are resistance capped, it's time for one more thing, and that's our new gems. We link poisonous concoction with deadly poison, scattershot, chaos infusion and bursting plague. We cannot afford a 6th link yet, but if you can you should get inevitable critical gem. For auras, we use Wind Dancer linked with blind and maim. Also use Alchemist Tea boon to get more flask recovery charges linked with clarity for mana regeneration. And our last aura is Herald of Plague. Let's try our new setup in a few maps and some map bosses. So our build is doing pretty good for early mapping on very small budget. Currently I've been running tier 10 maps pretty smooth, but we still have a lot of upgrades to make and have to scale more damage. In part 2 of this Zero to Hero episode, we will try and push this build for all the endgame bosses and farm a lot of currency for upgrades. I hope you liked this video so far, and you can always let me know in the comments on what I can do better with making these videos. See you in the next one, Exiles.